Hey guys, coming at you today with a 15-minute TRX total body workout. We have Stephanie today who's going to be demoing our exercises and actually going through the entire workout. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be quick. It's going to be fast. So let's get into it. Stephanie's going to start us out with a little mobility exercise here, the lunge with Y fly. So TRX is set at mid-length. Hands are going to start out directly in front of those shoulders. Stephanie's going to lunge out with her right foot, and then she's going to press back with those hands to come back to that start position, and then switch going out with her left foot. What we're trying to make sure here is that we're using this time to kind of use this as tissue inventory. How's the body feeling? Are the hips tight? Are the knees tight? Are those ankles tight? Are the shoulders tight? Is that core not feeling as locked in as it could be? Are those hips feeling like they're just needing an extra bit of love? If they are, you can pause on the next one. Do a little side bend, rotate here, getting into that hip flexor on that left side. It's always good to give a little bit of extra attention to those areas that don't feel like they're feeling quite up to speed here. So whether you're doing this workout at the beginning of the day or end of the day, it's always good to just listen to your body, making sure that you're getting some sort of mobility work to get some blood flow in so you can get the most out of each exercise. Stephanie's going to finish with this left side here. Nice work. We're now going to take this right into a little TRX squat row. She's going to take and face that anchor point. Her hands are going to start in towards those armpits. From here, she's going to extend those arms out, squat down, stand up, and pull back in. So again, this is your time to kind of feel how things are feeling. If you want, you can extend and squat back down. If you want to make this a little quicker, put some extra bit of heat to it to get some more blood flow, you can pull as you stand, extend and lower as you lower it. Pull and stand, extend, lower, back up. So just think about doing these warm-up exercises for about 30 seconds a piece is all we're trying to get out of these. But again, sync the breath of the movement, keep your abs tight, squeeze that butt. Good, we have two more here. Just like so. Excellent. Taking us down to little wall slides. Getting those shoulders warmed up a little bit. We're going to take those hands through the foot cradles, having our thumbs on the outside of those foot cradles like hooks. Make sure we bring the thumbs to the shoulders, elbows to the ribs. Hide those ribs, so keep those abs really fired up. Then drive those hands straight up towards the sky and pull right back down. Great way to get the backside of these shoulders to start to get to engage. So by the time she comes down here, she's thinking about pinching those lower shoulder blades together. And as she's coming up to the top, she's really thinking, can she keep her shoulders out of her ears, managing those masses and spaces, not shrugging as she goes to that top position. If she needs, or if you need to, you can bend your knees just a little bit so you're able to tuck that tailbone, neutralize the spine just a little bit to really be able to pull down these ribs and to keep that spine nice and stable. Excellent. Good chance to sync that breath with the movement here. Stephanie has one more. Nicely done. We're going to take this right now into a COSSACK stretch. Stephanie's going to take those feet out nice and wide. Toes are straight ahead. She's then going to bend to that right side, keeping that left leg straight. Drive through that right leg, stand back up, and bend over to that left side. Take a notice that she's extending those arms as she lowers and then pulls herself back as she presses to the bottom. We want to make sure that we're using this, again, as a mobility exercise. Can you pull with your arms on this one? I'm perfectly fine with that, but as long as you're making sure that those legs are driving, that's the important thing. As Stephanie comes over to this left side, she's going to stay low and return herself over to that right side to make sure she's scrubbing those hips open to get everything feeling nice and loose. You can even lift your toe on that straight leg to get a little more emphasis in that stretch through the back side of those hamstrings and the interior of those thighs or the adductors. Good. Stephanie's going to take one more to the right, one more to the left. Voila. There we go. There's our 4 mobility exercises. We're going to get after this workout. Like I said, we have a 15-minute total body TRX workout. We're working for 40 seconds. We're resting for 20. We have about 14 exercises that we're going to blast through for 2 sets. Are you ready, Stephanie?
Ready.
Hopefully you guys are ready. Here we go. First TRX exercise up is going to be the TRX high row. TRX is set at mid-length, facing that anchor point. Hands are going to come in towards the armpits. Elbows are driving behind the body. We have 40 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. As we're working through these movements, remember this is round 1. So we're trying to make sure that we're keeping the plank set. We're trying to keep those shoulders down, managing masses and spaces, because if we're not doing that from the get-go, then more than likely as we go through the workout, it's gonna get worse. So taking your position, stepping it in towards that anchor point if you want to, stepping it back if you want to, All depends on how you feel. Like I said, we only have 2 rounds of this. It's a short workout. So if you want to get under it from the get-go, it's your opportunity to do so. But managing to keep everything in check is where we're looking to keep things set the best. Nice job. 2, 1. We're gonna take that strap down to mid-calf length going down the ground. We have the TRX PIKE. So we're gonna wanna make sure that we're setting ourselves up from this plank position with our elbows on the ground to begin with. Driving those heels in towards those handles, pull the toes towards your nose. Making sure that we're keeping our hands grasping the ground to protect those shoulders. From here, you're gonna pull your hips up towards the sky and squeeze your butt to drive those hips down towards the sky. We're trying to focus on pulling from the entire region of those abdominals, from the upper to the lower, but locking those legs, so we're trying to make sure that it's all focused into that core. Now, Stephanie's doing an awesome job at getting those hips super high, but if it's not in your wheelhouse to get your hips that high because your shoulders might be too tight, you just gotta come up a little bit. It doesn't have to be as high as what Stephanie is. It's because Stephanie's had a lot of practice at this, and so she's been super strong all the way through this, but it takes time, you'll get there. Nice work, Stephanie. We have 2, 1. Excellent. You're gonna stand on up. We're gonna take this right away into TRX front squat. So you're gonna leave your strap length right where it's at. Straps are coming up underneath your armpits. You're holding on to both of those handles. Your upper body is completely dead weight. From here, you're gonna step back to where you're on your toes. Heels are off the ground. Then you're gonna squat your butt back towards the floor. Stand up nice and strong by driving through your toes, squeezing your butt. Now, check out Stephanie's push through those toes and look at those ankles. We're trying to make sure that we're pushing all the way through those toes, not just to make sure that we're getting the knees and the hips to work, but let's get that 3rd or even 4th element, if you want to talk about pushing through the toes into that quadruple extension, as well as those abs tight and forcing that breath out strong to the top and then lowering back under control. So by you keeping the heels off the floor, you're keeping those knees and hips, the driving muscles in this group, and not allowing just for those quads to work. Just like so, nicely done. We're gonna lengthen those straps out. We're gonna take this right away into a TRX chest press. So setting that plank position, the hands are out in front of the shoulders. We're gonna make sure we pull those shoulders down away from our ears as we pull ourselves down into the bottom of this chest press position, and then press our body away from the hands. So a lot of the times I tell people to pull themselves into this. Think about the high row that we just did earlier, because we still want to use that back to pull ourselves down into this just as much as we're pressing away. So now we're getting a back and chest pairing movement as well as keeping that plank position. Stepping back will make this harder. Stepping forward will make it easier. It's up to you to take that and determine where you want to be in this workout. So if you can handle getting underneath that anchor point, get under it. She knows. Or if you want to step forward a little bit because you need to take a little bit more management with those shoulders, then you can step forward. Nicely done. We're taking this now into TRX cycle hop. So we're going to take those straps up to mid-length. We're going to face that anchor point. So again, first round, feel things out. This one's going to take a big movement on that heart rate. So if you're not quite feeling it yet, that's okay. We have some options for you coming up here in a second. But Stephanie's holding on to both those handles. She's gonna step that right foot back, knee drops towards the floor, return, step back with that left foot, stand tall and return. So alternating here, or if you're feeling good, just like Stephanie's doing here, you're gonna start to alternate into these hops, getting a good push from the front leg, touching that back foot, so you're getting equal push between the right and left leg. Now Stephanie is actually lifting her back leg, so she's taking it like another level, but you don't have to do that. You can just touch that back foot and not actually have to jump like she's doing here. It's just the first round, but that's awesome. She wants to get after it. I'm not gonna stop her. 2, 1, just like so. We're gonna take this into high rotation. TRX goes into single handle mode. Facing that anchor point, you're gonna grab onto one handle. Keeping those arms locked, shoulders down and back, feet square to that anchor point. You're pulling and rotating your body to the right. This is not just dipping the hip or rotating the shoulder, but all stays connected. Shoulders, hips stay connected. Elbows stay locked. Pull, rotate, slow lower under control. Pull, rotate, slow lower under control. A little bit of core work here, a little bit of rotation, a little bit of deceleration and anti-rotation that we're managing here. So if you want to get after this a little bit more, you can step forward to get a little bit more loaded up into some resistance. If you're not quite feeling this movement, you can step back, take those hands above parallel with your shoulders as you come back up. That's gonna lessen the range of motion you have to pull through this entirety of the exercise. There we go, 2, 1, just like so. We're gonna take those straps out of single handle mode. We're going down to mid calf length, putting those toes in for our last exercise of this first round. That is our TRX body saw. So again, we're gonna start in that plank position from the elbows, grabbing the ground with your hands, putting your feet through those foot cradles so you're driving your heels into the handles, managing to stay in that complete plank the entire time as you push your shoulders behind your elbows and then return your shoulders over the elbows. It's really important that you start with those shoulders over the elbows and that you finish back and shoulders over the elbows. If you come beyond that, you're just wasting space, wasting time. There's nothing importance or value that actually happens from your shoulder and elbow beyond and towards your hand. So keep it effective, keep it simple. Again, an inch backwards will make a giant difference. You don't have to go as far back as Stephanie is. Again, she's super strong. She's earned the right to move this way. Good. Here we go, second round. We're gonna pick it up just a little bit. We're back to that TRX high row. We're now gonna step in towards that anchor point. So straps go up to mid-length, palms are down, elbows are out towards those shoulders. Stepping in towards that anchor point, like I said, is gonna make this a little bit harder. Since we only have 15 minutes, this is your chance to get out as much as you can from this workout. So whatever you put in, you're gonna get back out. So stepping forward is your go-to, as long as you can manage, what did I say earlier? Masses and spaces, that's right. We wanna make sure your shoulders are out of the ears. We're not pushing with those hips, but we're keeping that plank locked tight and that we're lifting those toes off the ground, that we're keeping that solid plank position. If you start to get fatigued, take a step back. It's always gonna be quality over quantity. We wanna make sure that you're moving well, not just moving to get those calories in and that work done. Just like so, 2, 1, nicely done. TRX goes back to mid calf length, toes in. We're taking that pike and pulling ourselves away from that anchor point. There's the start. The extra option here, maybe Stephanie didn't know about, is you could take it to the hands while you're away from that anchor point. Pulling yourself away from the anchor point, 1, is gonna make it harder. 2, going to the hands is gonna make it less stable. So as you come up to that pike, then it's trying to pull you backwards, so you have to manage to keep that plank position as you lower back down and come back up nice and tall. Drive your hands into the ground, grab the ground with your hands, and push those heels into those handles. Pulling those toes towards your face is just gonna help those legs utilize and give you more stability at the top. Again, Stephanie's pulling really high into this. You don't have to go that high. An inch will be as effective as what going up there will be, as long as you can make it good quality work. Good job. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Coming on up, leaving the straps right where they are at, we have a TRX front squat, but guess what? We're adding a hop to it. So now we have to make an explosive movement from the bottom of that squat, quickly touching at the top and then returning. But if you're not into hopping today, if it's not quite into your regimen, you have a little bit of a step back or check down that you can take. And what that is here you can alternate. Stand, then hop. Back, then stand, then hop. Every time you hop, you still want to make it a quick touch and then right back. Or if you're just not feeling the hops at all, then just stay into that squat position. But again, it's a short, quick workout. You're trying to get the most of this. Adding these hops is going to be really important to get that heart rate up, to get that metabolic feel into this workout. But also, again, quality over quantity, not letting those heels drop, not letting that butt go forward, and not letting that chest go down. 3, 2, 1. Nicely done. We have chest press, so go ahead and fully lengthen out those straps. Again, we're gonna step it under that anchor point. We're gonna really try to get after this. So if you're working with a door, making sure that you're getting back as far as you can, that might be your heels against the door. That's okay, that is still super challenging. Or if you're working from an overhead anchor point like we are here, you get the opportunity to step back as far as you want to get after it. As long as you're keeping that plank position, lower your body, shoulders out of your ears, drive back up. Stephanie is definitely super strong here. So if you can manage that plank, then you can be down here with her. If not, then take that step forward. Someday you'll get there. It takes time to get strong, to make sure you're getting that core connected throughout the entire body. That means from your heels to your fingertips, everything has to stay connected and turned on. Keeping that breath under control, keep driving through those hands, and keep managing to step forward. As long as that fatigue is setting in, that quality might get compromised. Nice job, Steph. We have cycle hops coming up next, same as the first. If you're feeling it, guess what? You're just gonna go for it. You're gonna hop one right after the other. Again, making sure that you're coming back with that back foot down towards the ground. So you're using both feet to press up and then land from that position, and not just reaching that back foot towards the back. If you reach back towards the back like Steph's doing here, that's okay. It's just another level of advanced movement, but you don't have to actually let that back foot touch. There you go. You can touch, back up, make sure you press off of both legs, getting a strong hop. So the higher you hop, the higher and harder this exercise is gonna be. Again, we're not looking for a giant hop if that's not in you today. Just getting enough hop to get a piece of paper underneath that foot is still a big, big workout. Keep that breath under control. Steph, you're doing good. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1. Good job, Steph. Good job, guys at home. We have just a couple more. We're taking that into the high rotation. TRX goes into single handle mode, facing that anchor point. Arms are straight. Again, shoulders and hips are staying connected. Big, big time important here that we're keeping that spine safe. We're not pushing through that low back. We're pulling those ribs down, keeping that breath under control. Here we go. Pull, rotate to the right. Slow lower, pull, rotate to the left. Again, if you're not feeling this and you want to reach those hands up nice and high, that's perfect. Or you can step back. Again, as that fatigue starts to come in, stepping back is definitely an option as long as you're keeping that movement quality and not just trying to get in that quantity. Or if you're feeling right, you feel like you got some extra added calories, energy in you, step it forward because this is your chance to get after it. We have 10 seconds, you guys. We're almost there. We literally have one more exercise after this and then we will be done. Here we go. 2, 1. Nice job, Steph. TRX goes back down to mid calf length. We're taking this into TRX body saw. So toes are going into those foot cradles again. We're making sure that we're keeping that plank position from the entire position. So you can bend those elbows, grab the ground, keep that plank, drive those elbows behind the shoulders, and pull yourself back in. Here we go. This is the last chance at this workout to get as much from it as you can. If your low back is not feeling that great, again, you can just hold the plank here. It does not have to move. But if you're feeling good and you want to get after it, push back as far as you can, or you could even come up to the hands if you wanted or have earned it. This is going to create more challenge into that core as well as those shoulders. Again, Stephanie's super strong, so she's knocking these out. If it's not in your wheelhouse, just drop down to those elbows, hold that plank, drive strong backwards, or try a couple from the hands. Lower it back down to the elbows. That's perfectly fine. Good job, everybody. Stephanie, good work. You guys, you rocked it. Make sure you take a couple minutes afterwards to stretch out, grab some water so you can get rehydrated, grab a towel, wipe down. Thanks for checking it out. We look forward to seeing you guys back soon.
Bye, guys.